What is up, you bag of slags? Joker here, coming at you again with some PC gaming tech-related news concerning AMD and their upcoming Super Resolution technology, not to be confused with FSR. This is meant to be a direct competitor to NVIDIA's image scaling that we talked about around a month ago, which, to be honest, was a bit cack when compared to DLSS technology, and AMD just, couldn't let NVIDIA have that technology hanging over them. So of course they're going to be putting out something similar. Let's get into it. But first, today's video is brought to you by Primetekmart.com, where you can save money on software like Windows 10 Pro licenses for under $25. They've also got Windows 10 Home for under $20, and now Windows 11 Pro you can grab over on Primetekmart.com. They've also got Office 2019 and the new Office 2021. And if you want to save an additional 20% at checkout on Windows 10 or any other software, go ahead and click Buy It Now, and during the checkout process, go ahead and put JP20 in and apply that coupon, and that'll give you 20% off of any software that you happen to pick up over there. So for Windows 10 Pro, you can see it dropped our price down from $24.46 to under $20. So be sure to hit up the links down in the description below, and don't forget to use my coupon code JP20 at checkout for an additional 20% off. So if you remember, around mid-November last month, I talked about NVIDIA's image scaling, which is going to be a sort of competitor to AMD's FSR, except it would work at a driver level and work in any game conceivably. It wouldn't, really require any extra work from the developers on the games. It would just work at the driver level and essentially reduce the resolution and then sort of scale it up a little bit to try to get as close as possible to the experience that people get when using DLSS via the Tensor cores, which honestly, DLSS has been a game changer. During the 20 series launch, they talked a lot about ray tracing, and the 30 series as well. But I think it's unarguable that between the 20 and the 30 series, DLSS has been the showstopper. If there's a reason to pick an NVIDIA card right now over an AMD card, it's not really AMD obviously does support ray tracing now, but NVIDIA is still doing a little bit better because they're on their second gen RT cores, so AMD is catching up a little bit there. But really, DLSS has been the game changer. Anytime a game comes out and is having any issues running, if it has DLSS, you whack that on, boom, you're bumping up your frames by anywhere from like 15-20% to as high as even 75-80%. I've seen in some games. It really just depends on the title, the complexity of the geometry in the game, and the implementation, really, at the end of the day, by NVIDIA, as well as the developers. But I think it's undeniable that DLSS has been absolutely amazing. Initially, when it first came out, it wasn't that sharp, it wasn't that amazing, but they quickly got those things ironed out, and it has only gotten better since then. I believe they're on 2.3 now. At this point, Cyberpunk 2077 recently got an update with that, and it's fixed a lot of issues with that, with trailing and stuff like that on things like crosshairs, which were some of the things that were kind of still getting worked out. And there's definitely still work to be done there with DLSS, but as time goes on, the algorithm and the AI and stuff for DLSS just only gets smarter and only gets better over time. So DLSS has been absolutely incredible. Also, when they launched that NVIDIA image scaler back in mid-November, they launched the iCat tool, which we used to compare images, videos, screenshots, whatever, of FSR versus DLSS versus the new NVIDIA image scaler, NIS, which they call it, or it's really just a short of NVIDIA image scaling, isn't it? NIS, there it is. So we used the iCat tool for that, and at the end of it, it was clear that DLSS was the winner, even comparing it to NVIDIA's own image scaling, which was built into the driver. The real benefit of the image scaling tool or feature from NVIDIA is that it's at the driver level. No implementation required from the developers, it just works. So now, according to video cards and reports coming in, AMD is readying to launch their Radeon Super Resolution, or RSR, which will be based on the FSR 1.0 algorithm, so the earliest versions that we've seen of FSR, which again, really wasn't that fantastic. It's better than nothing at the end of the day, but it's not that great, and the same is true for the NVIDIA image scaling. Really, the best case scenario is if a title supports DLSS and you have a GPU that can utilize it like the 20 and 30 series, then that's always going to be the best case scenario. But for people that don't have those cards or, whatever, then they can actually go ahead and use this stuff to get a boost in performance, but at a degradation to the image quality, whereas DLSS, usually the image quality is about the same, if not even better in some circumstances with certain really fine details and stuff like that. So RSR is really meant, like I said, it's a competitor to the NVIDIA image scaling, not DLSS, and this will work in conceivably any game pretty much. The only limitation that they are saying, according to the report over on videocards.com, is that it will require the game to have an exclusive full screen mode, which really shouldn't be that much of an issue, honestly. Pretty much every game that comes out now has some type of exclusive full screen mode. The only one that I've seen recently actually was Halo. Halo didn't seem to have an exclusive full screen. It was either windowed or borderless window. Unless they're calling it like the wrong thing, it doesn't seem like it is actually an exclusive full screen mode. So that could be a limitation right there on some titles, but for the most part, pretty much every game that comes out has a full screen mode, now here in 2021 and going into 2022. So we should expect to see this via a driver update from AMD. Again, videocards.com is reporting that it will be released in January of 2022, and you can be rest assured that once this Super Resolution update comes out, we will definitely be testing it here on the channel and taking a look at some games and comparing it versus the NVIDIA image scaling, and I'll probably be using the iCat tool for that, because that was honestly way better than the NVIDIA image scaling thing, was getting that iCat tool. That thing is a game changer as well, just being able to use it to compare stuff, and that'll work with anything. You don't need an NVIDIA card necessarily to use the iCat tool. Anyone can download that and use it to compare screenshots or as well as videos side by side and kind of zoom in. It just gives us a lot of freedom to sort of poke around and sort of share that information back with you guys. So that's all we've got today on the Radeon Super Resolution. As I said, this is basically FSR, but available at the driver level for everyone. So hopefully it comes out and it's good and gives a boost in performance to people that need that in some games. But I do have a feeling we'll definitely see some image degradation, just like we did with FSR. And even the earliest DLSS implementations also had those limitations. So, FSR might get better over time. But, right now DLSS is the king, and we'll just have to go ahead and compare all of the different technologies in January, conceivably when this driver update from AMD is released. So stay tuned for that content in 2022. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Also, before I get out of here, RIP to the legend, the coach. John Madden himself passed away yesterday. One of the greatest Raider coaches, if not coaches, of all time, and commentators. Awesome guy. Yeah, sad to see him go, but I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time for another video.